Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, where family's everything.
Until it's not. I'm Aunt.
And I'm Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Aunt. To our listeners, I just want to apologize. I feel like lately I've been a little confrontational on this podcast. And I just want you to know that I am a confrontational person.
I am too.
So I'm going to try not to be.
I am not confrontational. I will just laugh in your face.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't just diminish you to nothing.
Yeah. And also our listeners need to know that like we are a real aunt and nephew.
He's really, really my nephew. Actually, he's more than my nephew. He's my godson.
Exactly. So, And our family loves to interrupt. We like to talk. We talk over each other. We talk a lot of stupidity.
Talk over each other. Yeah.
So we're learning.
Yes. And not only that, but like at a family party, you could say, hi, how are you? And they say, I'm fine. And then it's blah, 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 blah. And nobody even really knows how each other is. So we actually get more accomplished in this than any regular conversation. And this is, we talking very natural of how we talk our whole entire lives. Well, your whole entire life. Because I was alive half of your life before you came along. But we've always talked like this. Remember, people don't know that when Andrew was in high school and stuff, he used to call me in the afternoon and tell me about his day.
God, totally.
And college, everything. He used to call me 10 o'clock in the morning. He'd talk to me. And so we talk about this kind of stuff.
I remember when I came out to you over the phone, I was near this pricker bush because I tripped and I almost fell into it after I'd gone tanning for the second time that day.
Oh, I remember that day too. That's all I got to say. So
let's go back to 12. Shannon and John. It just continues. And,
how staged did you think it was that John was there in the morning? And we've already established he never sleeps over and she never sleeps over, but there he is.
I mean, they both looked insanely hungover.
Oh, Shannon looked bad. I mean, not bad. I don't like to put women down, but she wasn't in full makeup. That's all.
No, like they looked full
glam. She didn't have full glam, so it was staged. It was so staged. It was staged.
Why don't you guys go? Like, why can't they? And I guess they wouldn't do this on camera, but like go away for a weekend and like show that you really care. Look rested. Go on a walk.
They don't care. They're filming. They're not going to go away for the weekend. I just thought it was so staged. He was there. Tamra comes in. Oh, I've got to go. Really? You got to go? Oh, you just arrived. And it's too staged. You know what I mean? The whole thing. First of all, does Shannon even need marriage? I mean, because they were talking about marriage, because Tamra went on and on and on. They don't talk about marriage. They don't talk about this. And I thought to myself, does Shannon need marriage?
I mean, I think it depends for everyone. I know people that are on second relationships and like, they're so happy just like having fun, doing things.
Yeah, they don't need to get married. That's what I thought. And she has her money. And I don't know if he really has money or not, but he has his kids. And his daughter doesn't like Shannon. So it's contentious that way. But I just thought, Shannon, you got your own thing. Shannon gets alimony.
Yeah.
From David. So, I mean, why would she want to cut that gravy train? I'm sure that I don't even know what John does. How come we don't know what any of these people do? You used to know what everybody. Private. Well, yeah, but you used to know what everybody did.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
no, Vicky never let you know that Don worked at the Home Depot.
I mean, no, well, you know what it is that it depends, I think, on what they did and how they, like, if it was a bit, if you really look back, that would be interesting to say, like, how many of these housewives have clued us in on what their husbands do. And I bet there's a constant trend that if being on television and promoting the business helps the business, they clue us in on what the husband does.
Right.
Because even Mario Singer, we didn't really know what he did.
Yes, we did. We saw those medals all the time. He owned a medal trophy company.
Okay, but like we didn't see him in the office.
Yes, and he took Avery in, and Avery was like, "I'm never going to work."
But
here.
it wasn't a consistent storyline,
and that's why she sold her True Faith jewelry. And I know because I bought one.
Oh,
I do. Someday I should take over all of the housewife merchandise.
That would be funny.
I've got a taser from Phaedra. Okay, taser from Phaedra. And I have a necklace from Singer, and I bought Diamond Water. That's not Housewives, but that was the girl on the Persian show. What was it? Shahs of Sunset.
What about Blackwater? You buy that from the man?
I did buy Blackwater at Target. It was horrible.
I have all 4 of Teresa's cookbooks.
I've had Singer wine, Ramona Singer wine. I've had Skinny Girl wine. I've got Jill's Aaron candles.
Oh yeah. Well, you can get those at any Saks up if they're around the country or
I know.
Saks.
I'm trying to think of what else of anything I've bought, but that's just a few off the top of my head. I'm sure I bought Countess Luann's book.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I never bought the skincare anybody was selling. I just want to say, I really, really wanted the Sonia Morgan toast oven, but it never came out.
Well, I really wanted a Sonia Morgan dress from Century 21.
Oh, I
can't get what we want, right?
Sonia Morgan originals.
Yes.
Okay, I miss those. I just want to say I'm bringing up Sonia. Oh, I know this is sidetrack and I don't want to, but there were some people online on Instagram that went to the Benton Motel.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they weren't there. The office was closed, but they went to the bar.
Oh my God, I love that.
And they didn't see Richard. But the other guy was there, and he said they left without paying their bill, and that people thought that they were a pain. That Luann was really, really nice, but more Sonia was stuck up. But then other people came on the thread and they go, "I live in Benton. They were great. Don't leave them alone." So people, I think
it depends on what you saw them doing and how you interacted with them.
And so a bunch of people are going to the bar where she picked up Richard.
Oh, that's funny.
Billy Richard. Yeah. So they said that they went to the hotel and they tried to get a tour of Sonia and Luann's room, but nobody was in the office.
Oh, wow.
So that's great motel when nobody's at the desk during the day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay. So anyways, that's enough of, I miss
Shannon and John, we'll touch on them more because they're in our face 24/7.
Yeah, I don't get that. I still don't get like the whole thing. It's all seems very, very manufactured to me.
Yes. Well, I think that the staying overnight, yes, but I actually think that the storyline isn't as juicy as it is.
Yeah.
They have a very boring, bland, vanilla, codependent relationship. And the women have decided to, because of it. But the thing I'll say, and we'll move on and come back to Shannon, is that she keeps saying it was in the vault. Okay. What she said to like Heather.
Yeah.
Now, like, I'll use a good example. If you have a problem where you smell and you tell someone that you have a problem with the way you smell.
Okay.
One person.
Okay.
And then you find out that gets out. Yeah. That person compromised you and it's in the vault. But if you tell every single housewife on your cast that you have a problem stinking.
Yeah.
It's in no vault except
it's not vault. Everybody knows.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't. And there's definitely a double standard in Shannon's head. Well, but I'm going to tell you, by the end of the episode, I really thought Shannon's fragile. Like, she's fragile.
We'll get there.
She seemed fragile to me.
We'll discuss Taylor's pumpkin patch with Taylor Armstrong. Thank God she showed up for her own party.
I have a lot to say about that too.
The Dubrows.
Oh, the Dubrows. First of all, I hate Terry this episode too. I usually just hate Heather, but now I hate Terry too, because he's just as bad as her. And Josh and Heather, they're just like us. So I want to talk about this $55 million sale. The average realtor gets 4%. And that's what you pay the realtor, 4%.
If you find the buyer and the seller.
And then you get 2.
Yeah, you split it. You co-broker.
Split it. So you get 2. Now he, I believe, owns the brokerage. So he gets 2. Or if he doesn't own the brokerage, which I can't imagine he doesn't own his own brokerage, does he?
Yeah, he does.
I would imagine he
has his own group for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I don't know if he's in one of that, like that other.
He might still be like Sirhan started his own. Some of them do decide to go start their own. Some of them
we have to figure that out on Josh and Heather, because then he got 2% or he got like 125. But I still want to know, because 10% of 55 million is 5.5 million, which means 1% is $500,000. So if he made 2%, he made $1 million selling their house for them. I just wanted to bring that in on just that sale. That's nice. That's nice money.
That's a nice commission.
That's a nice little commission.
I ain't making those commissions.
No, that's a nice commission on one house when you're selling dozens a year. Of course, it was the third highest selling home in the Orange County ever. And didn't Mr. Dr. Dubrow just love that?
Oh, he did. And also he needs to get a reality check when he's talking on television to his kids about like play money. We got all this money. Honey, if you sold your house for, if you made 500 million off something, because you just bought a house for 17.
Yeah.
You then bought another, or you bought the condo for 17. You bought the other house for 20. Right. Which, like, no one's saying that the amount of money.
And then they said it's going
on your house,
they're going to make it's going to cost them just as much to do that house over.
Yeah, well, that's the issue. But
give or take.
I think that
he's not making anything on it.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, by the time he buys another house, pays the commission, because we've already established that he owed a couple of $1 million of commission. So even if it was 55 million, he's only getting like 52 million.
Oh yeah,
right?
No.
Okay. So, and then he has a loan. I'm sure he had to pay that off. He had to take a loan on the other. Then there's closing costs on that loan. And I'm just saying, at the end of the day, and then they said they bought a house, but it needs extensive renovation. It's going to take a year or two. Well, that means that they're spending another 15 million on that. So at the end of the day, they're not going to really make any money on this.
But remember, they also they made money because of the fact that what they spent on that house versus what they sold on it. So yes, they are buying a bunch of new things.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I mean, why would you give up that beautiful wall of champagne?
I don't know. Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, her selling the house proves that she doesn't want to stay in the OC, because she's not going to be in the OC. She wants to be in Beverly Hills. That's where she thinks she belongs. Yeah, she's in HD. And her and all her freaking monograms. I'm sorry, her pocketbook's monogrammed. She did an I'm surprised she did a Champs and her pumpkin and didn't do. Everything is HD. And I thought to myself, even your bag is HD. Everything's HD. Everything's got to be monogrammed. Your kids going to school, they got monograms on their sheets. It's too much. It's obnoxious. But I didn't even like Terry this episode.
I didn't either.
I didn't. And when Josh came in, and then the daughter, she wants to know if she gets the G6 back.
No. He wanted the G6, the son. The daughter wanted to fly back private to school.
I thought the G6 is the private. It is. G6 is a private plane.
Yeah, then what did the son say? He wanted a car. There was something that him and Terry...
Whatever it was. All I heard was the G6, and she's like, I get to come home private. And I just thought, no, get her a ticket on JetBlue overnight, the red eye, coming back from Boston. Is she the one in Boston, or is she in New York?
They're both in Boston, aren't they?
Oh, they're both? I thought only one was. I thought
they're both in Boston.
Oh, one goes to Tufts and the other one goes to where?
I don't know. We have to find out.
I know one's at Tufts, but I don't know where I think they're both just on the West Coast. I don't know if they're both in Boston, but it doesn't matter, because they need a ticket on the red eye from JetBlue to come home.
They won't be.
Coach. No, I know.
They're not going to sit and coach.
They can upgrade to even more space. I'm just saying, that's what I would do with my kid. I mean, I know different celebrities I've heard of where their kids are sitting back and coaching. They're in first class, and they're they're just 12 years old. They don't need to be in first class.
No, and I hear you there.
You're all getting there at the same time. You're on the same plane. It's not like you're taking off separate times.
Yeah, but I don't like to fly coach.
I don't either, but let's
I need
not
my
be
comfort
elitist.
For my mental health.
Me too. I just don't like to be around other people.
Same.
But I just, the Dubrows just got on my every nerve. And why would you even, first of all, she hasn't even started packing, but she's not packing. She's hiring people, and but she's not going to know where anything is. And then all her kids are coming home and she doesn't know what to do with them. Well, that was poor planning, Heather.
Yeah.
I mean, now she got to take a lease out on another place so they can all be together.
Well, no, it just happens.
Break.
They need to lease the house.
Well, she should have said the contingency is we don't go till January 10th or something, because my kids are coming home.
Or they can call Melissa and Joe Gorgon and ask them how it feels to live in a rental house for 10 years.
Oh, I would love to see them. I can't wait to see. Well, they only will take a high-end lease. Miss Heather Dubrow.
Oh, no, of course. No, she won't.
Heather Dubrow. She won't be in anything.
What did you think about her meeting with Shannon? Because I have to tell you, I actually think Heather, let me tell you something. When Heather, the tear, I think was whatever. It was a little too weird.
It was too weird.
When she got kind of in her face, and when she was looking at her,
to me. Yeah.
When Heather was looking at her and was really in it and was I did not mean, I'm telling you, I've now thought a little bit. When you look back a little bit, Heather did try to make John and Shannon look better. She's like, I think they're fine. I think they're good. And then Tamra said to Gina, you don't get the phone calls, huh? And then Gina was like, oh yeah, the phone calls. And Heather stayed quiet. But yet Heather's getting the bad rep from Shannon. And I want to know how has Tamra stayed clear when Shannon's telling Tamra that Gina, Emily, and Heather all talk about her relationship. I want to know what show Heather Dubrow or I want to know what show Shannon Beador is watching.
I can't argue with any of it at all. But the best line of the whole night was when Gina said, Tamra Barney comes with a spoon in each one of her bags.
Oh, yeah.
Because she just stirs it up. And she stirred it up at the very end of that, too, bringing up, what did she bring up? She brought up Travis's.
Oh, yeah, but we'll get there.
I know, but I'm just saying, she goes. Do you think it was hard for her to go to Shreds to work out, Tamra?
Oh, Tamra?
Yeah, her and Eddie had to go to Shreds.
I think that was Shreds.
I know it was. I know it was. The whole thing. It was weird. They went to Shreds.
They have a gym at their house. Come on, let's just call it what it is. I know,
it was just there. But it was funny. The Shreds was actually busier than I'd ever seen cut.
That's very true.
I'm just saying.
All right, let's talk about Jenn and Ryan, because that was awkward.
Oh, it was all awkward. But
I like Jenn.
I found her. You know what I thought? You know what I wrote down? I'm kind of bored with Jenn now.
You know what I've noticed? She doesn't have. At first, I thought she had horrible plastic surgery. It actually isn't bad. She's really beautiful.
She is a pretty girl. Yeah, no doubt. She's a very pretty girl. She's a beautiful woman. They're all pretty. None of them are ugly. Every one of them is beautiful.
I also believe Ryan. You know, maybe he liked to have fun prior to Jenn, but maybe he really fell in love with her.
Oh, I thought it was funny when he was at the jeweler and they called him an Armenian gigolo.
I know. I didn't catch that, though. I didn't hear
the
Armenian.
I love that, though. They looked very Armenian. And it was funny. I didn't think that Ryan was Armenian until now. I know he's Armenian. And now I'm like, of course he's Armenian. He looks so Armenian to me.
I like him a little more because he's Armenian.
I do, too. We're Armenian. We're a little Armenian. So when I found out OC's loaded with Armenians.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where so many Armenians are in the Orange County. And he's the Armenian gigolo.
I can say that we will find out soon enough if he's changed or if he hasn't, because he's on a TV show.
Leopards don't change their spots. I know. Now that I know he's Armenian, I'm going to put the chance of and this is from one Armenian to another. Now that I know he's Armenian, I'm going to put the chance of his changing down to about 4%. Okay.
Oh, please.
I'm telling 4%. You. I'm just telling you, I know those Armenians and they like to wander. It's all part of coming from the desert.
I was waiting for him to bring up the Kardashians and say that they're friends or something like that.
Yeah, they're not. They're cousins.
That's a whole other thing. All cousins.
We're all cousins. All Armenians are cousins. There's a reason for that, but we don't need to give a history lesson today. All
right, let's talk about the pros of the pumpkin patch. I loved the setup for the lunch. It was beautiful.
Okay, it was fine, but how rustic do these girls have to get?
I want to have lunch in a pumpkin patch.
Fine. I have a problem with pumpkin patches because I don't think anybody actually grows the pumpkins there.
You think they just bring them out and toss them?
Because I watch Little People Big World also, and those little roll-offs, they've been toting out those pumpkins forever. I think they just get big batches of pumpkins.
Come to think of it, I used to work at a farm as a kid, and I don't think I ever saw a pumpkin growing there either.
I'm telling you, I think they just bring big batches of them in and put them in the field.
That's a smart idea. I think they did that at the farm I worked at.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what they do at the roll-offs, because they'll say it's pumpkin season, but you never see any pumpkins growing. And so they're never attached to stems or anything. They're just random pumpkins. If they were really, I mean, it's like if you go strawberry picking or blueberry picking or raspberry picking or even apple picking, you're picking them actually from the stem, from the tree.
Yeah. Strawberry.
Yeah, that's what I said. You strawberry, you're picking it off. Blueberries, go up to Maine. You can find blueberries on the side of the road. You pick them off.
There's nothing like a strawberry right off the stem.
I think there's nothing like a blueberry on the side of the road in Maine. It's just me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's nothing like a wild blueberry growing in Maine.
Do you think that the way that,
I think first of all, I think the pumpkin patch is fake.
Okay, yes, that's true.
And I'm sick of them going places where they're trying to be rustic. Like I'm over it because they went to Montana, and then they did something else that was in the woods. What else did they do in the woods this year? I forget now.
I forget. But
they did something
Heather
else.
and Gina also went to a farm kind of place at one point, to talk. Or
I'm just over the whole,
like,
I'm over all the Western gear. I mean, maybe it's Tamra because, oh, and then Ryan works at the ranch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He thinks he's Yellowstone. And you want to know what else I noticed? Now, this is interesting. And I want to know what you think about this. In the opening of Tamra, she only shows her husband, Ryan, and her mom.
Yes.
Her kids are older now. Now, for a long time, her ex-husband, Simon.
Yeah, of course. There was issues with
the kids from being, but now the kids
maybe
are like,
they choose. Maybe they just don't want to be.
I'm just going to say it's interesting to me that only Ryan still chooses to be on the show and the other kids don't. Maybe they feel like they've been off of it for long enough.
Why get involved now?
But I always find it interesting when the kids aren't involved in the show. And there's an example.
Can we both agree? Because I want to make sure we're on the same page here. Shannon Beador is I don't believe she's lying. I think she is truly, I think that, I don't know. I mean, she said it though, right? We all can say she said it. She said the thing about Child Protective Services.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Why have I need to understand why the other women that were there, Taylor and Tamra,
right.
And Jenn obviously heard it.
Well, Jenn, was the one who brought
I'd like to know what Miss Gunvalson says. Was she there? No, she wasn't there.
No.
Never mind. Darn.
No. But
who else was there?
Listen, Taylor, first of all, doesn't want, she just is trying to figure out how not to get involved. It's very obvious. Taylor does not want to get involved in any of it on either side. She's not even really being vocal about anything. She's Switzerland.
I mean, I feel like Andy's going to have a field day at the reunion talking about that scene, because he's going to literally look at Tamra and he's going to look at Taylor and he's going to say, did you guys not hear Shannon yelling about Child Protective Services?
Oh, Shannon's
because you're all right there.
She's going to need Xanax before the reunion. They should be filming it soon. Do we know how many episodes? Because this was 12.
I'm sure it's 16, maybe.
At least.
I mean, I just can't. I felt, and I have to say, I'm more and more, and we all know I love Gina, but I'm more and more impressed just with how she handles herself, because so many people would storm off, scream, yell, flip out. And instead, she really has just kind of been like, and this is how I only know this from experience. Like, it means I think she really is on the other side of her issues. Yes. Because she's secure with talking about her past. It doesn't make her happy, but she's secure with talking about it. She's not trying to make excuses. And Shannon's just like digging a deeper and deeper hole.
Deeper. And you know what would be interesting though? I would like to see Gina without Emily. Because Emily gives her a certain strength, and I would like to see her navigate a season without Emily. I don't know how she would come out of it, because they're really, really strong. They're close. They arrive together. They leave together. They have each other's back through and through. If she didn't have Emily, it would be interesting.
Well, Emily's a Holly chick, so
she is a Holly chick, and she couldn't really ride. That's all I can say.
How about how about her husband in the sidecar?
He is.
Then she goes, he's got a sidecar frame.
I know, but he does. But you know what bothers me? And I talked about it last time. I'm going to talk about it again today. I'm sick of all the sexual innuendo. It was too much sexual innuendo about how big every guy's member is. Yeah. It's too much sexual innuendo about reaching in and the butt of the pumpkin. It's like, you grown women, stop talking about sex all the time. It's fatiguing. Too much sexual innuendo for me. I said that last time before. It's too much on this show.
No, I think you've been saying that about New York.
New York too.
No, New York's where that started. I mean, I think that what bothers me about the whole thing.
Maybe, you know what? I'm just sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. Oh my God. Apology accepted.
You know what? I think the sexual innuendo, it just came to me, is a default. When they've got nothing else to fill, that's like their default. Let's go back to sex so we don't have to talk about anything else. Because I also think you and I are like we're just like pop culture junkies. We tune into a lot of content. We read a lot of shit. We've experienced a lot of life. We don't live under a rock. So for us, we're like, okay, we don't need to hear that. But then there's the viewers that don't talk about that stuff all the time, that are like, oh my God, she's talking about that on TV. Like, maybe
it's like a shock factor.
I don't know. It bothered me. First of all, we know how big Ryan is, though, because his dick pics are all over the OC.
I love that Jen
I
said
thought that was so funny. Well, everybody's seen his, so they don't care. Heather Dubrow again bothered me to no end, because here she is trying to dress like, Little Miss House on the Prairie, and she had her little dress and her shirt and her sneakers, and then she's got Gucci barrettes in the back. Oh, she just can't help herself. And I saw this week her and Terry went out for lunch, and they had to film it, and they thought it was so funny. The bus came by with TMZ, and that TMZ had some story about them, and there was the TMZ bus in LA. And I was just like, oh God, you two, it's just so staged. I definitely think the pictures in Disney were staged.
I do too, but I also think it was staged that Teddy Mellencamp called Tamra on the way to the lunch,
that was staged too, of course.
On camera.
Yes, of course. Anything that happens on camera, it was planned.
But you and I need to take a page out of their book. The next time we're filming our show, let's call each other and we can
have someone in Fabulous call us.
No.
It's a call.
No. When we're filming our reality shows separately, I'll have you call me so they can put a little note on the bottom. Andrew's podcast co-host call because it was great PR for the podcast.
Yeah, I know. And I knew she had a podcast with her. But what's it called? Two Dumb Blondes or something like that?
No. Teddy and Tamara, it's called Two T's in a Pod.
Oh, Two T's in a Pod.
Instead of two P's in a pod.
Yeah, two T's in a pod. Did I say Two Dumb Blondes? They're not. Neither one. I'm going to tell you, you can tell how beautiful a woman is when you're outside filming.
Tamara's gorgeous.
Tamara Barney is gorgeous.
And she hasn't had much work done.
No, she's just haven't maintained. So it's still there. Tamara is gorgeous. I'm just going to say that. So I might diss you.
Starter.
She is a shit stirrer, but with her hat and her hair and it's natural lighting. And I'm going to say, I don't think, I don't like to insult people, but Taylor didn't look as good in that lighting.
Taylor's lips are just so sad to watch.
I know. It's a different zip code, but she's gorgeous. I think Emily's beautiful too. They're by far some of the two prettiest women on Housewives. I don't know who's prettier than them.
Emily is feeling herself. You can tell she's more confident with the things she's saying this season. Yes. I'm happy for her. I know you say that Gina's nothing without Emily, but I do believe that it was good. Like there's times when people step up. Like Gina's absolutely right. Like your kids are not being taken away from you because of a DWI. Maybe it's true. If you had them in the car when you got one, and that then would be a different ballgame.
And you were transporting cocaine. That might be the reason.
But also maybe it was because they just were in the car with you and then they can't drive home and you have to go to the police office or the police station and they need to go be held somewhere, maybe. But Gina's absolutely right with there. And Emily jumping in to say that's not how this works. But you know what? Shannon doubled down. She kept she was off the side comment. Well, that is the case with the doctor kind of thing. And then Tamra, I'm happy she said it. And then that she said the thing about Travis's penis.
Yes, which was rude, even if it's true.
I liked what Emily said after. Wait, let's not comment on this. But how is it okay for Shannon to be talking about Travis's genitals?
Right. But we can't talk about her relationship with John.
That we are just worried that it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, Travis had 3 children, so something worked.
Also,
do you know what I'm saying? That's what I see. It's really, it's only just a tool to get you to the other side, so to speak, and have a child. And obviously he could do it. So his tools worked. Even if he has a little small wrench, it still was able to get the plumbing going.
Yeah. I just want to know why Shannon Beador gets protected so much to not be shown exactly who she is, which is,
because I think she needs help. I think she's very, very fragile right now.
She's a mess.
She was a mess at the end of that episode. A mess. She was like, and did you love how your HD said to her, are you okay? Do you need me to call someone? Just like we brought up, she did episodes years ago, seasons ago. I think she's having a nervous breakdown.
I know.
And then she
mental break.
Yes. And she was like, do you need me to call someone? In other words, can I make sure that you come off looking like a raging lunatic once again? Yeah. But I got to give Heather credit. no matter what, she always stays composed because she can see 5 scenes ahead. She knows how she's going to look. She never lets the emotion get to her.
Totally.
Ever, ever, ever. And Heather, Shannon's a powder keg.
There's a lot.
Shannon is a powder keg. She is ready to explode at any moment over a million things. And Heather is watching and she's just like,
I just really want the OG of the OC back because she would have called that out.
I know. How come we're not seeing more of her?
I wish Vicky had been there to say, I wish she was at Shannon's party and I wish she was at Taylor's lunch, because then she would have said, oh, no, wait, maybe, Vicky would have had the balls to say, you did say that. Maybe you didn't mean it, but you did say it. Because they all talked about Brooks for years.
Well, Brooks was worthy of it, though. Much more than John and Shannon. Brooks
Megan King Edmonds, if she was on the show right now, she'd be taking Shannon.
Oh, she'd be taking her down. She would be. But Vicky was right about her too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, when she called her the ex-wife number 4.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Now.
Jimmy Edmonds. I remember when I was a kid, I loved him. He played center field for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was like so good. And then I see him on my TV like this.
Oh, and you just thought whatever of him, huh?
Yeah.
I feel bad for Travis. Actually, I just want to put that up because nobody needs that. And I didn't realize that Miss Heather Dubrow had and I love the previews for next week because they talk about, wait a minute, we're supposed to talk about this, this, and this, but we're finding out you sold your house and you're in escrow and you didn't tell us, but you want to talk about everybody else's relationship, that I don't quite understand. But she has a Fireside Network starting. What move type of genre is on the Fireside Network? Do you know?
I don't, but I have to say about the selling the house, I don't think it's the same. We have to remember that there's positive things.
They didn't tell anybody they bought a house either.
But there's positive things and there's negative things. Okay.
I think when you've been filming with people and you're filming now, like they're in the process of filming the season and you've had numerous episodes filmed at your house, that saying I'm selling my house did fit. If they weren't filming and they weren't talking to each other all the day, then I can see saying I'm selling my house.
I just don't look at it as the same. The reason why is if Heather Dubrow was talking shit about people selling their houses, moving from house to house, all these things, and then kept her housing situation private, that would be the same. Because what Shannon's doing is Shannon's talking about everyone else's relationships, but then she wants her own relationship kept private. So I just look at it as like,
right. Yeah, I get it totally. But I want to say this. We talked about it the other day with New York, that they're castmates. They're not friends. Yep. And when you don't tell your castmates that you're selling your house in the city where you're filming in part of the Real Housewives of the OC, that is proof that you're really not friends. Because I find it hard to believe that Emily would be selling her house and not tell Gina. I find it hard to believe that Shannon would sell her house and not tell Tamra.
Yeah.
Because they're friends.
I'll be interested to know what Heather's rebuttal at the reunion is. So it kind of showed
that they're not friends.
I think that this is going to be one of those moments of, Heather, Andy will ask that question at the reunion. Like, you come down on everyone else, but you didn't tell anyone about your house. And I have a feeling Heather's going to come back with, well, Andy, and it's going to be a much shorter timeline than they've stretched it out to be on this show. That's all I'm saying. Because imagine if it all happened within a week.
Right.
Would you expect that she's going to pick up the phone and call her castmates right away?
No.
So I think
there's a lot of animosity in this, but I'm going to tell you, this was one of the better episodes, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good episode. It had good pacing. They had good storylines. The Dubrows they're just too much for me. But I started out, I didn't like them. So I still don't. I went full circle. I didn't like them. Then I kind of liked them. Now I'm back to not liking them. Who knows where I'll end up at the end of the season?
They may be moving and buying a house in Wellesley, Massachusetts next week.
I doubt it. Do they need plastic surgeons in Wellesley? Yes, they do. No, they're looking to go to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is where they want to be.
We'll see.
That's where they want to be.
Well, I'm excited to go to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills it's coming up.
When is it coming? Do we have a release date?
November, I think.
No, that's too far away. There's got to be somebody. Isn't somebody starting in September?
Next week, but you haven't watched seasons 1 and 2. Salt Lake City.
Oh, well, that could be easy I could do a Reader's Digest version, huh?
You can totally.
Yeah.
Let's do it because you'd love them.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks, y'all. We love you. We're so grateful to have our laughs back. Again, apologies for my interrupting.
Yes, but don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of this because you'd hate to.
Who wouldn't? We love it. Bye, y'all.